If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, it's free. Second, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else podcasts are heard. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
The stories, the hustle, the grind, the push, the pain, the time, love, the sweat, the tears, goes beyond the lights, the stage, the fame, and the message stays the same. You're listening to the Indie Takeover.
This is Naomi Parchment, and you're listening to the Indie Takeover Show.
Ups and downs, yeah, and it feels like no joy can be found. Almost like a day without no sunshine and a throw. Can we go back to a simpler place in time? Oh, but my mind didn't worry about things on the TV. Where do we go from here? Trying to spread light in this fear. We need you. Oh, let's get back to it. Back to the reason we love. I know it gets hard. We were meant together. Not fight forever is hard. Still the right way. Still the right way, right way. Still the right way. Let's get back to it. My heart aches, it bleeds and it longs for the day when we can live in perfect harmony. And now our visions are blurring, so it's like the world doesn't even know that light is available from the one that we call the sun. There'll be a day when pleasure reigns, no more fighting, no more pain. Until then, spread life and love and let's get back to it. Back to the reason we live. I know it gets hard. Oh, it gets so hard. We were meant together. Not fight forever is hard. It's so much still the right way. Someday, let's get back to the reason we live. Let's get back. Show love, be love. Back, be love. Let's get back. We need more love. Let's get back to the reason we live. Let's get back to the reason we live. Oh, let's get back to the reason we live. No, it gets hard in this cruel world.
welcome to the Indie Takeover Show, and I am your host, Jeremy Gibson. And listen, everyone in podcast, radio, listening world land, I am joined by, a phenomenal creative that I just have to say, right now, I'm trying to hold my composure and not fan out because, listen, I got Naomi Parchment here, right? And for anyone that knows me, I am a fan of incredible vocalists and creatives and worshipers. Like, listen, her heart for worship is just so pure and genuine and authentic. And listen, she's here to talk to us at the Indie Takeover. So, listen, I'm blessed. God is good. Even in the midst of chaos, God is amazing. And I am so blessed to have you here. Naomi, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for having me. What an amazing.
This is so cool. So in your words, I always give my guests the opportunity to share who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
Okay. Oh, well, I am Naomi Parchment. I'm from the United Kingdom, specifically from Birmingham, which is like 2 hours from London. That's all anybody cares about. It's like 2 hours north from London. I'm a singer-songwriter, arranger, I don't know, lover of Christ, daughter, sister, worship leader. Yeah, and that's it.
I love it. You're currently in Alabama, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What part of Alabama are you in?
Huntsville.
Listen, I have not been, but I know so many people in Huntsville. Like, Huntsville's popping right now.
You know what? It's coming up. It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It is. I love it. Now, you were going to school there, or you are going to school there?
Yeah, I graduated last year from Oklahoma.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, so happy it's over. Yeah, so that's the main reason why I was here. But now I'm kind of transitioning into real life.
Awesome. Well, again, congratulations on that. I know that journey, education, that pursuit is not easy by far. It ain't cheap. It is definitely one that it tests you for real, pulls out things that, you didn't expect to have. But I want to kind of start at the beginning, as always. How did this all start?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, how did you realize, like, you know what? I love music and music loves me.
My mom always used to say that I was like singing before I spoke. I was always humming and always very like alert when it came to music and things like that. So I think it was just like an innate thing.
Yeah.
My parents love music. They'd take me to all sorts of concerts, Fred Hammond, whenever they came into the country. So I was always like, from like 6 months, I was in those loud concerts. They'd take me everywhere. We used to tour with a choir as well. So I think from growing up, it was just something that was a part of me and that I loved. And then I think around age 14 was the first time I ever sang in public, like in front of people.
Really?
Yeah. So it took me a while to be like, okay, I can do this, But yeah, it's always been something that I've loved. I don't think there's been a time where I can't think of a time where I wasn't involved in something to do with music. So yeah.
So before 14, it was just you and your private moments. Just people didn't know all that you had.
No, like not even my family knew that. They knew that I love music, but they didn't know that I had a voice. And I didn't really know it either. It wasn't until like I posted a video on Facebook, and everyone was like, "Wait, what? Like you can sing?" And I'm like, I mean, like I like to sing, but I didn't know it was something that I could do and that people would receive so readily. It was just for me, I was like, still now I'm kind of like, well, like people think like, you know what I mean? Like I just like to do it, but I don't think of myself as like the best vocalist or the best singer, So yeah, 14, I posted a video on Facebook and people saw it. And since then I've been singing. Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to be very candid right now. I remember, I don't know, I guess it was maybe 7 years ago or so, a little over on Social Cam. I don't know if it was
Social Cam.
There was a video you posted of I think it was your birthday. Mm-hmm. And you were in a practice room or something. Yeah. And I don't even know how I happened upon the video, right? And I'm, just scrolling and that was the first video I saw of you. But I was like, oh my God, this girl is incredible. So listen, I started, I've been following you since that video. But I will say what has stuck out to me in the videos that you've posted, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, your tracks on SoundCloud, there's always such a purity, such an authentic display of who you are. There's a track that you have on your SoundCloud. I think it's called I Don't Know Why, but even you sharing in that moment, I guess it was a time where, you didn't feel as close to God as you wanted to. And you're like, God, I don't know why you still love me the way you do. And I think so many creatives, and not just creatives, but those that are walking this walk, sometimes, we have those moments where God, you love me in spite of my inconsistencies. You love me in spite of what people say I should or should not be doing. And I just love that you give so real, moments in your music, in your creativity. Please keep doing that. Because listen, you got fans all the way in California that's loving every bit of what you do. So I want to go there and ask you, where did the relationship with God, where obviously it was something, it is something that means something to you, who introduced you to God?
Oh, wow. You're trying to go deep. Okay. Wow. No, I mean, my parents are Christians, so I grew up in church. I think I'm a church baby. I just love church. I love being there. I love walking in and being like, yay, church. But I don't think I really experienced Christ, for real, until I moved here, 5 years ago. Because I had to then have a mature faith, not my father's or my mother's faith, but I had to get to know him for myself. And I think that, going back to what you were just saying, I think it's so important for everybody to be authentic. I find nowadays I don't want to discredit, I love gospel music, I love music in general, but it seems like, the creativity is there, but sometimes the authenticity isn't there, And for me, I think growing up, I always heard commission. Did you watch that Versus?
Oh my God, it was nuts.
Oh, I was crying because
it was the best.
It reminded me of why I'm doing music. It reminded me of, my own purpose. And it reminded me of how powerful, music in general is. Things like people like Fred Hammond and Commission.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on. And the songwriting, I think he played, what did he play? And I freaked out. I don't remember, but he played one Commission song. And I'm just like, the writing, the realness, you felt it. And I'm just a big advocate for that. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So I think that's what I try to portray a lot in the music. I think music is probably one of the only forums that I find myself, I'm able to just be 100% myself. I don't think I'm the best speaker, I kind of freak out, did I mean because or and, but when it comes to music, everything just flows so quickly and so freely. So I can't help it. I can't help but, be real in that forum. So yeah.
I love that. Because so many people I watch and listen to so much. I'm a big Broadway fan, so I like listening to Broadway tunes, musicals. I love classical. I love R&B. I love jazz. I listen to a little bit of everything.
Yes.
But what you said is so real. There's a difference between those moments where you're overthinking You know, I went to school for music education. I didn't finish the program because I don't think it was God's plan for me to. But I remember being in the program, and my choral teacher would always say, "Get that thinky face off," right?
Yes.
And he was like, "I can see you thinking," right? He would tell the whole choir that. And I started using that because I knew what it meant. Like, you're overthinking. Be in the moment, connect with the music, share what it is, you know? And by you saying that, it's like, for me, like that light bulb, I get it. Like, there's some things that just connect when you walk, you know, and that's how you know, in my opinion, that's how you know God is breathing on what it is that you're doing, right? And you mentioned that verses. Yo, Fred and Kirk, I'm gonna be honest, I was a little, at first I was like, man, why are we doing this? Like, I didn't know, because the previous ones, sound has been horrible, you know, and so I was just like, please don't let this be trash. Man, from the beginning with, you know, Bishop T.D. Jakes and the prayer, but the thing that sealed it for me was their heart. It didn't seem like a competitive moment ever. It was, you know, this is a song for the healing of our people, our time, you know, what's going on. And you recently posted or shared a video in honor or tribute of Ahmaud Arbery. And it was the remix to the Insecure song with Jasmine Sullivan and Bryson Tiller. And I watched it over and over because that's what I tend to do. You know, that's what Instagram is for. You just watch stuff over and over. But I was like, this is what artists need to do. This is what, you know, spend their time being creative, but still sharing a message, you know, a message of hope and healing. Is that always your intent when you create? Or sometimes, you know, it's like, oh, I just want to do a song. Or do you always go into it intentionally trying to share something?
I think it's always an intentional thing, because sometimes, for instance, I posted a cover maybe like 2 days ago, and I was like, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do it. And like one morning, I'd be waking up at 5 and I'll have the whole idea, the whole concept. And it's just like, okay, well, I guess I'm supposed to do it. It'd be things like that, you know? I mean, I'll be creating just for my own, you know, fulfillment and fun as well. But I think most of the times, it's either something that I need for that moment, or something that I feel like others will relate with, you know? Yeah. That's how I am, yeah.
How do you respond to, I know you just said it's usually something that you need, but what's that feeling when you realize that same thing you needed, thousands of other people also needed it at the same time? What does that do for you?
I'd be crying, I read the comments and I'm just like, wow. I mean, speechless. It's crazy how intentional, you know, God is with everything, that he could use somebody in Huntsville, Alabama to bless somebody in California. I think that's why I do it. That's what keeps me going. That fuels me. It's like, okay, so I am working in purpose. I am doing, you know, what I'm supposed to and what I'm called to do. It's like I get goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now. It's a really fulfilling moment. I think. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you are fully embracing everything that, you know, God has laid out for you. You know, I mean, we don't know what the end looks like. We don't know what tomorrow looks like, but it's embracing the now, embracing the truth of, you know, what God, the truth of his intent, you know, I think is so dope. So again, thank you. I'm gonna start. You'll be thanked several times in this conversation, because there's been moments where I've listened to, you know, your SoundCloud or, you know, your music, your features on different albums, and I'm like, man, So this is, listen, I'm gassing you up, but it's all real. Okay. I love pure voices, right? So I'm a big fan of like Donny Hathaway, Layla Hathaway, Stevie Wonder. And it's just those timeless voices where it's just like, breath of fresh air, right? I feel you are in those classes because your voice, your delivery, your choices, your tone, all of that. I mean, you get technical, but truth is, it's just an anointing on your voice to break through the noise and the chaos, that we are presently in, and that presents itself through, maybe individual, situations and struggles.
You look at me and you see all that I need. Insecurity makes no difference to you. You look at me and you see all that I need. Insecurity, it makes no difference to you. You love me. You love me. In spite of me, you still love me. Love, in spite of me, you still love me. Love, love me, love me, love me, yeah.
For those creatives that are struggling with content development or content creation on social media, and they're, because you see things like, oh, well, do I do a TikTok challenge? Do I, and they're wondering like, how do I stay relevant? What would your advice to that creative be, like, especially a Christian creative? What would your advice to them be?
I think for me, I'm always writing. I write pretty much every day as a means. It's kind of like, therapeutic, but also, to keep the pen kind of sharp. Yeah. So I think something like that. I've been challenging myself this year to finish things. So like to start ideas and to just finish them. Yes. I think challenging yourself to be creative and not, it's hard because we compare, we have that comparison thing with social media. And it's always like, well, will I get 12 likes? Will I get 120? You know what I mean? I think that creating for you, because you are creative, because that is who you are. Number one is what I would advise anybody. Don't create for the likes or the shares or the retweets, but create because that's in you and that's what you want to do. Yeah. And then secondly, I think one thing that really has been helping me through the quarantine season is just creating. Like, even if I feel like, that's a bit, you know what I mean? But still pushing through that, and then maybe coming the next day and listening to it and realizing, okay, maybe I can adapt that. But I think doing and finishing is something that I would definitely advise, and also teaming with somebody else. Ask questions. That's something that's helped me immensely in this season. Asking somebody who is wiser than you. Yeah. Like, yo, how can I do this? Like, I'm interested in these genres. How can I put these together? I'm interested in production. How can I get my foot in the door? Things like that. Ask, Yeah. I think that's all I have.
Asking is a big, I'm one to ask. I have no problem.
I'm learning about that because I'm not good at it.
Really?
I'm not good.
And I get it, because I think, especially as creatives, it puts you in a greater place of vulnerability. And being a creative, you're already vulnerable. You put all your stuff out there, and now to ask for help or to ask for advice or opinions or whatever, now it's like, oh, I'm exposed even more. But I think there's such a freedom in being able to say, because I've asked people for help who have brushed me off, and one thing I had to be careful in just my own journey is not to become bitter or to fault that person for not, because it's like, don't you see what I'm capable of? I'm not asking just to ask. I'm asking, but the truth of the matter is that even in asking now frees you from like, well, what if I never would have asked? Okay, so you're not the person to go to. There's somebody else. Maybe I need to rephrase the question. And the person that does give you the answer, you're like, okay, there it is. I wanted to ask you as well, and you just mentioned listening to different types of music. What would you say are your favorites? Like, what are some of your biggest influences or inspirations when it comes to creating?
You mean genres or artists or?
Let's do both.
So, oh man, I'm kind of the same as you. I like pretty much everything. I can still, even in the weird things, I can still be like, oh, I like, I can still find something I enjoy about it. I think I've enjoyed, I studied classical voice, so I really enjoyed learning about that. My favorite artist would be Naomi Price.
Yes.
Oh, she just knows her instrument, and it's just exciting. Hip hop, rap, dubstep, house, gospel. I'm really obsessed with just understanding other people's like how they internalize and how they emote or whatever, how they express.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite artists, I think, would have to be Kiera Sheard, hands down. Kiera Sheard. Who else? Bruce Hornsby is a piano and composer. This is a hard question. Kim Burrell, Pharrell Williams, Missy Elliott. There's just so many. I'm a fan of so many, but I think with those names, and especially Fred Hammond and those kind of people, Quincy Jones too. What inspires me is that a lot of their music, like a lot of the verses stuff they were playing was like 98, 90, and it's still relevant.
Absolutely.
Their message, even their styles, the way their chords they played, it just transcended into today. And that's exactly the kind of artist I want to be. Like I don't want to be about the hype of 2020 and she got 17,000 likes or views. I want it to be something that in 2030, people are looking back and like, wow, like that's still something that's relevant. It's still something that has caused me to do something different, or you know what I mean? That's the kind of artist I want to be, and I think those artists that I named definitely have left that impression on me. So,
for sure. I think you made a very, very awesome point mentioning Naomi Price and her knowing her instrument. It is so incredible, and the reason I point her out is because her being a classical vocalist, right? There's rules, there's restraint in how you deliver, choices you make and all of that. And even in that, she was able to freely, as you said, emote vocally in a way that absolutely boggles my mind sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm like, oh my God, like what in the world? And it's funny because my wife will listen to stuff and I'll be like, oh, that's from the soundtrack of, I'll just hear like bits and pieces of stuff. She's like, yeah, you're definitely a music nerd.
Right.
But I have no problem.
I'll be it.
I have no problem with it. Music is such a healing power, You play as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, you play. Listen, you can be humble, but I'm not doing that right now. Listen, you play and you play. I think it's so dope, singers that can play, and that, because I sing, but I can't play. Right? So it's like I hear stuff and I'm like, that's not what I really, is that what, but I feel like your creations, I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, that's so dope how she did that. Do you feel it frees you or enables you to be more creative because you play and sing?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Have you always played?
Yeah, I was in piano lessons since I was like 5, but I quit when I was like 12. So everything I know, I taught myself. And I really hate that I quit. I wish I would have stayed in lessons. But yeah, definitely you can hear, I think when you play, you can just hear a lot more things interval wise,
Right.
And then it helps when you're just trying to write a song, because you can accompany yourself, you can play out notes, So very, very helpful. Any singer, I would, advise them to kind of get an instrument if you can. It's so easy to learn now, YouTube, and there's so many things that you can learn from. But definitely, playing something has helped me.
Do you play any other instruments?
I was trying to learn guitar, but it hurts my fingers. And I sucked for too long. But no, I'm trying to pick that back up. That's something I want to do over the summer, is learn guitar, because I think that's a wonderful. Hey,
do it. Listen, worship moments with Naomi on guitar.
Wouldn't it, if I could play guitar, that'd be it, I think. That'd be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a few chords, but not enough to sing, play. I'd be too stressed.
So I can just see you sitting there right.
Yeah.
But you're right, though. There's so many opportunities or ways that we can learn new instruments. YouTube is such a blessing. I YouTube everything.
Yep.
How to grill carne asada. I don't know. I'm making all types of random stuff.
Right.
And the quarantine has opened up the opportunity to we have nothing but time now. Sadly we're dealing with a lot of, heartbreaking things. But I do feel like we have to remain, have some type of semblance of sanity and be able to go back in our own world and either create or, just meditate, pray, read, learn, whatever, because the time is there. And if we don't spend it building and cultivating healing environments or healing habits, it's rough. I want to ask you too, from moving from the UK to America, the grand old United States of America, how bad was culture shock for you? Was it was that your first, when you moved here, was that your first time?
Yeah, it was actually. It really was, because in England, it's more of a if you eat, then if I'm gonna eat, then you can eat. It's and we're gonna eat until the food is done. That's how I was raised. My background is Caribbean, and we all it's one huge family, everyone's family, right? So when I got here, America is more of a individualistic country. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make it to the top, and I love you, and so coming here, I was whoa, like what? Like this is like it was definitely a culture shock to me because I didn't realize how family oriented I was until I moved here. So that was a huge struggle for at least 2 years for me. I missed home. I missed my family. I missed what was comfortable and what was what I knew. But I made so many good friends who became family, and but yeah, at first, I was struggling. And the food. I didn't know, like, because in England, everything tastes a little more real. Here, it tastes like it's processed. Processed. Like even vegetables. I'm like, this don't taste right. But, I got used to it.
Now you're living in the South. How's your palate when it comes to soul food?
Oh, like soul food is amazing. I've had some let me not say that I've had some amazing food since I've been here. But I think that I miss just simple things that I could find in England, like, I don't know, like random seasonings. I think if I go to like New York and places like that, I can find a lot more of what I want.
Right.
But in the South,
not quite.
Nothing. I'm like, wow, what do you guys use to season like things? I'm so confused. But no, soul food is amazing. I've had some amazing food here.
Do you cook?
Yes.
Okay. What's your go-to meal?
Right now, I'll have like some sort of salmon, some greens, maybe some rice. Not like collard greens, like broccoli or spinach or something like that. Some rice, veg, maybe some sweet potato. Simple. Yeah. I can cook, but I don't enjoy being in the kitchen like a lot.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I only like going to the kitchen when I'm getting my plate of food that has already been prepared.
And I think the trick is when you cook, like, you're not hungry anymore after you finish cooking because you've just been cooking. It's just like, what's the point? Yeah.
Out of the, I guess, American culture things that you were introduced to, what has been something that you would say like, oh, I wish we had this in England?
Oh, so much. Chipotle. Well, they have Chipotle in England, but it doesn't taste as good. Chipotle for sure. I think like drive-through banks. We don't have that in England.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so convenient. You just pull that stuff and get out. It's just like, wow, a blessing. Wow, what else? There's so many things that I wish I miss about America when I go home. I can't think of anything off the top. Those things, some restaurants, most Mexican places I miss when I go home.
Have you been to California?
No, I was supposed to go. Like last month.
Listen, we got to get you here because if you like Mexican food, this is where you need to be.
I know. I need to.
Mexican food anywhere else is a fraud.
So I've been hearing. What about Texas though? They said Texas is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I would say yeah. Okay.
But not as good.
Yeah, California just has some great Mexican food. Like you can find, I don't know if they have taco trucks out there, but there's taco trucks everywhere in California. Like where I'm like, I go there for a breakfast burrito, a lunch burrito. We'll go there for some dinner nachos. Doesn't matter. I love Mexican food. Mexican food. So I want to ask you about kind of the state of music in general, not just gospel, but there is such and I applaud it. I think there's such a boom of female creatives that are taking hold of the industry, right? And in all areas, right? Not just music, but because you got, writers and directors and producers and, that are doing such a great job. What is your opinion on the female presence of creatives and how can we, so I'm trying not to load this question so it doesn't sound like I'm trying to get you to say one thing.
Right.
But what is your opinion on the current presence and impact of female creatives? There it is, of female creatives now and what they're leaving for those that are coming up after them.
That's a loaded question. Very loaded. You know, I think that, man, I'm just thinking about the Clark Sister movie. That's exactly what came to my mind as soon as you said that. And I was just like, you know, these people have been doing it for decades.
Yes.
Decades. And I'm just like, they're consistent and they're still good, you know. I think that it's important. People like her, Missy Elliott, like all those people who are doing something different. And not only that, one thing I love about Missy is that she gives other people the opportunity to have a platform too. I think it's so important. And I think for so long, especially when it comes to musician, those terms are only really like given. When you think of a musician, like who's playing keys at this gig, you think of a man, right? You think of, but I'm seeing, like now, as you're saying, so many other females, so many other women just going for it and being, if not as good, you know, right. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. But
I'll say it for you.
Do you know what I mean? Like even like Beyonce's homecoming tour, I'm just like, can you guys see this? You know? And so I think it gives people like me just hope and inspiration and like a kick up the butt to be like, you can do this because they're doing it. It's no excuse, you know? So very encouraging to see so many women doing amazing things.
Amazing things.
Did you watch that one?
Say it again?
Erica.
Oh my God. I'm a big Jill Scott fan.
Yeah.
I love Jill Scott. And when I was younger, neo soul was my thing. Like that was, so when, you know, Erica's playing, you know, My Eyes Are Green, you know, I love like the songs that they didn't play on the radio that were just hits from the albums. I was just like, yeah, I'll play that. But there's such an impact of strong women. And I don't want to make it a race thing, but strong Black women that have done so much. Listen, my wife watched Beyonce's Homecoming, right? Mm-hmm. She watched it and up all night. Whatever time it came on, she was up dancing.
We're all up.
Right. Now me, I watched it and I was, you know, impressed, but I watched it again a year later. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching it with a different lens. Like, okay, let me really watch this. And the documentary portion of it that she had gave birth and was like, okay, time for me to get back. Let me prep this. Like, and she's so like, it's incredible. I mean, people can say what they want to say about her. As a creative, she is top of her game. Like there is, and even the Clark Sisters movie, I was so proud to be, you know, a fan of gospel music and to know their music, but to see such a professional quality display of what we, you know, some of us, what we've been listening to, we grew up on, you know, the ladies that played the Clark Sisters, they were incredible. You know, the acting was good, singing was good. You know, Kiara, of course, that's her family. Yes. But Kiara's one too that I feel takes hold and knows her instrument. She knows, you know.
She knows her niche in general.
Yes, like, absolutely.
She's just not music. Like she's everything. Like she has her own clothing line.
Yeah.
She's an entrepreneur. And that's something that I want to do. I think for a long time, the way I was raised, it was like, you're one thing and this is what you do, you know? Right. And if you're a singer, you're going to sing this way and the songs have to sound like this, you know? And I think when I moved here, I realized, wait, I can actually just be me and it'll and it's okay. I can actually do this. I can write this pop song, and also I can write this gospel song, and I can write this rock song, you know? And that's something that Kiera inspires me to do every day, to just do you, even if it's outside of the box. Yeah.
Have you worked with Kiera yet?
Never. I'm praying
really?
on never.
Okay, we speak it right now in the atmosphere. A awesome collaboration between Naomi Parchment and Kiera Shear. And Jeremy Gibson from California said it. Okay. I don't want no credit. I just want to listen to it when it comes out.
Yes. Oh, so wonderful.
That's so dope. That's so dope. I know we're coming kind of short on time, but I love this conversation. This is so dope. Dope. If you are able to, let's say, collaborate, this leads into my next question, collaborate with any artist, whether living or dead, what would your dream collaboration be?
Whitney Houston.
Oh.
Yeah.
The voice.
Literally. Whitney Houston, Jasmine Sullivan, Ella Fitzgerald. Today I would probably say Pharrell, Missy, her. Who else? Daryl Coley.
Yeah.
I would have loved to meet and experience. I think that's all I can think of, but there's so many. The list changes every day.
I could see you. I mean, I love the fact that now with, digital, abilities and technology, like, you can flip things, you can do. And I love that you're not afraid to stretch, the limits, to still be as creative as you want to be and still say, listen, I'm going to do this flip on You Brought the Sunshine,
right.
but still keep the integrity of the song, but still be you. I love that. Have you always been that confident in being you? Or I know you said you now being here, you have, felt like, okay, it's okay for you to be you, but I know there's that's not something that was just placed inside you. Maybe it's something you just discovered, but were you always kind of free, whether it be in private, were you always willing to kind of test those limits and be creative and like, I want to try this? Or were you always that type of person, or did that kind of develop over time?
I think that now that you say, I was thinking about it, I think I've always been that way, but I've not always been brave to actually, to do it. I come from a really traditional background. So a lot of the times, especially when I really started singing and leading worship, a lot of the times people wouldn't understand why I was so excited and why I would do the songs that they know, I do a completely different way. They'd be like, we don't know this, but, and a lot of the times, I think it kind of goes hand in hand with what we were saying before with the fear of rejection.
Yeah.
And just not being accepted completely how you are, So I think that even today, there's times where I don't always feel like, oh no, I shouldn't do that. It's probably too much. The saints, they're gonna, but I'm learning to just, if God has inspired me to do it, then it's something that will be received. But it's taken me, I don't think I'm completely yes, I'm that way now, but it's taken me a while to get to this place just because of my own restrictions growing up, with tradition, things like that. It's an everyday thing, choosing to be brave and courageous in what you're being called to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Choosing to be
brave. Choosing. Yeah, it is a choice. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not always easy, especially when you've grown in or been raised or reared in a very confined setting. I can be a testament to that. I grew up in church, super hardcore church. I'm talking about at 8 going to noonday prayer. Like, no, I don't want to go to the park. I'm going to noonday prayer with my grandma. Like, that was me, for sure. And not that I regret any bit of it. I think it was great foundation. But I think the next chapter or the chapters that followed, God definitely opened up the reins and said, listen, like, don't confine me to how you knew me at 8. And he's like, let me introduce you. I love the scripture that says there's no searching to his understanding, right? And like you can see God every day and there's always something new, right? Yep. And I love the fact that he is always introducing himself to us in new ways, see me in a new way. I love that about God. And I love talking to people that walk with him and that are looking for him in different ways. I kind of want to wrap it up with that question. What ways, and this may be a deeper question than I expect, but what ways in these next, maybe few months are you specifically, what ways are you looking for God to show himself?
Oh man, that is deep. I think, and I wanted to say while you were speaking, like this whole quarantine period, I feel like every day God has been showing me, he's like been kind of raising like how I understood him as like you were saying, as a child, and just reaffirming, like, yo, this is who I am. And it's all, the bottom line has always just been love. Absolutely. I just love you. I love you. And, through that love, I'll transform this. I'll give you this, I'll give you the bravery, the courage to do this, So that's what I wanted to say while you were talking. What am I looking for God to do? Oh, wow. Man, a lot of things. But I think for me, like, it's weird. I'm only 25 and I don't think I've done even half of the things I want to do. But for me, like, I always, like, every day, I just be praying, just let me be exactly where I'm supposed to. Because I feel like if I'm there, if this is what I'm supposed to do, then everything else will flow. Like, I don't, not that I don't pray for, like, provision and finances and things like that, but I think it's so much more important to know that, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, people say, Huntsville, what are you doing here? But it's like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And so I'm in that, and everything will work through that. And when I'm supposed to be somewhere else, I'll be somewhere else. But I think that's been my main prayer, especially for the last 3 months. Like, let your will align with what's going on right now for me. Absolutely. And then I'll be cool. Like, everything, even if it doesn't feel cool, it is, it is because this is what, God has for you right now. I think that's my main thing. Let me be where you are, and I'll be cool.
I love that. I love it. Well, Naomi, we're going to wrap up, but I have to say thank you again. This has been such a pleasure, Please let our listeners know how they can follow you, what we can expect, new music, new project, how we can stay locked in and be a crazy supportive fan like I am.
Oh man, thank you for having me. Naomi Parchment, at Naomi Parchment on everything, I believe. So at Naomi Parchment, and I do have a single I'm getting ready to drop. It's called A Better Day, and I think it's something that is so timely for this, for what we're dealing with right now, with the injustice, and also grieving the loss of loved ones during Corona. And there's just so much fear, uncertainty. So A Better Day. It's just saying that someday there'll be, a brighter day, a day where we'll be looking back on all this pain. So I have music available right now. Keep Running.
Yes.
And Touch on it should be on all streaming platforms. And I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. So
listen, everybody, follow Naomi Parchment. Get connected if you're not already. You've heard some of her music in the episode, but listen, Naomi is someone that you need to know about, and keep an eye on. Naomi, thank you again so much. I am honored again. And so we're going to end the episode with your single, Keep Running. Listen, I'm a fan, okay? I'm a fan. I'm a fan. So everybody stay tuned to the Indie Takeover, because we're going to bring her back and we're going to have more conversations.
Yeah, I would love to. I love this.
When you and Kiara do your
collab. Yes. Pray on it.
Right. You got to tell her, hey, Jeremy in California told me this was going to happen. No.
Listen, don't play. I'm serious about this.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I see it already. But thank you again, Naomi. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We are blessed and honored by your gift, your creativity, who you are, who God has called you to be. And we just pray much and most success to you. So don't get weary in well doing. Keep pressing.
Keep running, huh?
Yeah, keep running. Keep running. Thank you for tuning in to the Indie Takeover. This was your host, Jeremy Gibson, with my guest, Naomi Parchment. Tune in, same time, same place.
Can't sleep at night, my heart is pounding. Feeling numb inside, it's overwhelming. My energy's low, can't let these thoughts in. So I'll keep running, keep running. This pain won't last. No matter the circumstance, my life is in your hands. So I'll keep running, keep running. Trouble won't last always, so I will keep the faith. So I'll keep running, keep running on. So I'll keep running, keep running on. Keep running on. Can't keep on missing second chances. No, been so fearful of feeling 'cause of bad experiences. But I won't give up hope, I'll keep on advancing. So I'll keep running, keep running. Oh, this pain won't last. No matter the circumstance, my life is in your hands. So I'll keep running, keep running on. That's always gotta keep running, keep running on. Yeah.